We are Ham Radio. Okay, it's come to my attention that I needed to do an updated video on the Node Remote app for iPhone. I'll try to get one also finished into this video for Android as well. But let's just see if I can't cover all the bases this time. So the first thing that we're going to do is go into a terminal or SSH session into our node, and we are going to do a sudo nano etc asterisk manager.conf. This is our asterisk manager configuration file. We're going to come down here to bind address, BINDADDR equals 127.0.0.1. And we're going to put a semicolon in front of that. We're going to drop to the next line and we're going to type in BINDADDR space equals space 0.0.0.0. And this will allow the Node Remote app to connect to our asterisk manager here. And if you haven't already changed it, the secret you see right here, that is the password to your asterisk server. Admin is the username, secret is the password. So if you have this kind of a password there, write it down. Don't change it here if you want to change it. I'll show you where else you can change it, and it will change it here for you. But if you don't want to change it, just write this one down. You don't need to change it as long as you know it. You can use it for other things in allmon.ini for Supermon 7.4 or what have you. So anyway, we've made these changes, so we're going to hit Control X, yes to save, enter to exit. So if you want to change that AMI password, I'm going to do a sudo ASL-menu. And we're going to go into node settings, update asterisk AMI password, and see there's that same password. You can come in here and change it to whatever you want. But you've got to restart the asterisk server after the fact because it just has to be that way. This one runs a little bit slow because it's a Raspberry Pi 02W. Now that we're done with that, you can hit back, exit out. You can make this a little bit bigger. And we can go back into manager.conf. And you can see down here under admin, the secret has changed to that password that we used. So admin and secret there are the username and password for your asterisk server. And that bind address is now public. So that's done. Control X, yes to save, enter to exit. So what else do we need to do? Well, let's go over here to networking. Let that populate. And we've got all of our network information here, but we want to go to this firewall section and hit edit rules and zones. And we want to add a service. Add a service is basically your firewall, port forwarding, port routing area. And we want to add a new service. And 5038 is the port that we're looking for. And there it is. You type it in the filter right here, you can see this is TCP 5038. You can check mark that, add the service. And there it is at the bottom. This is going to allow those connections through. If you want to access your node from outside the network through Node Remote, you've also got to forward port 5038 in your home firewall, in your home router, to the node, to the IP address of your AllStar Link node. So let's get over to Node Remote. So I've got my iPhone here on the screen, and we're going to go here to right there in the middle of the screen, boop, 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 the Node Remote app, and we'll launch it. And as you can see, I have several nodes already configured, but I need to change one of them, so we will delete this one and add it back in. We'll just add it right back in. So you see the plus sign right up here in the right hand corner. We've also got the little hamburger menu that gives us these macro settings. So I'll hit the plus sign upper right hand corner. I'm going to type in the node number 58176 The username for the asterisk manager should be admin. Then you're going to type in the password. Then we're going to type in the local IP address. Now the phone needs to be on the same address as the node. I just happen to know what this one is. Okay, so yeah, I had that wrong. So if you want to edit, it's a quick left swipe, like a half swipe. Hit edit, and we're going to change that IP address to 10.131. Hit done. Hit save, upper right hand corner, and we should be there. Now let's just hit directly down on 58176, and it'll bring up in your buttons, but it may not log in the first time. See how we got that error? That almost happens every time with a new node. So let's hit it again, and look, authenticated. So I am in the node, and you can tell up here in the right hand corner, or the top left hand area, 57841 is the node it's already connected to. So let's get a radio on. My node is set not to announce, so just want to make sure, just in case, you can tell that my node is up and running. So now I can just tap on any one of these buttons, but first thing I want to do is hit disconnect node and disconnect all, and everything is disconnected. So let's hit the little grid square here. This will let me type in any AllStar Link node number. So I'm going to choose 55553 for the parrot, hit connect, and look at there, I'm connected. So let's do this. K85 FMU testing 1, 2, 3.
Audio level is just about right.
K85 FMU testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it worked, didn't it? So we can also come right up here and hit disconnect node. If we're connected to several nodes, we can just enter the node number where we want to disconnect from. Hit disconnect, and you're out of there. So let's say you want to customize one of these several buttons here, because you see I got Clint on there, and AA5PD, and PSRG Seattle, and somebody's trying to call me. I don't know why, spam risk. Okay, so back to business. If you want to take one of these buttons here on the screen and make it whatever you want, press and hold it, and you can edit it. So first you'd enter the node number. So let's go 43136. That's the Ham Radio 2.0 hub down there in Grapevine. And then you want to enter the custom text. We can put KC5 HWB right there, hit OK, and now the button says that. But you can see I've already got it in there. But just an example, you hit the button and you wait. This is the Allmon 3 window for that particular node, and you can see it already did connect. So let's come up here, and oh, it ditched one and went over to the other one. That's interesting. And we'll disconnect all. Okay, so we can come in first, hit that KC5 HWB, and boom, it connects, and we're connected to 43136. So if we want to add a node, let's just try AA5PD's node at home, hit connect. Okay, so it's ditching one connection and just going on to the other, so you're not just arbitrarily hooking a bunch of nodes together, I guess. But if you'll notice up here, it's not showing on the screen, and I don't know if this screen capture software has something to do with that or not, because it's only showing me connected to that one. So let's back out, jump back in, re-authenticate, and now you can see it showing up there. The screen capture software may be glitching with this thing somehow. So this is how you control your node with Node Remote. So let's disconnect all. For some reason it updates on my phone. There it goes finally. Okay, so what is this down here in the lower left hand corner? You can tell your node to locally identify itself. Of course I have a CW ID for identification. Or you can tell it, hey, just tell me the local time.
Good afternoon. The time is 2:18 p.m.
It's also a good indicator if you're worried if it's touching the internet or not. It'll grab that. And then we've got the settings down here. You can enable a local parrot. Let's just try that out real quick. K85 FMU.
K85 FMU.
Yep, I did enable the local parrot. Now I can disable the local parrot. K85 FMU. It's disabled. So what else do we have in there? You can tell it just to parrot one time. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Test 1, 2. And it only did it one time. So you got a local telemetry output enable, local telemetry output disable, on demand, enable linking, disable linking, and your test tone is on or off. These are handy when you're adjusting audio levels. Very handy when you're testing audio levels, especially on, I don't know, maybe your Toads DI sound fob interface. Yeah, when you first time adjust those audio levels, if you've got that tone playing, you can get that dialed in just where you want it. Should have figured that out before I made the video, but hey, you know what? Still on that journey, on the way to greatness. So let's disconnect all. And no macros are defined. I guess I'm going to have to figure out what macro to define. Oh, let me do disconnect all. Let's go back out here. And there are macros. So let's just try something else out here. Let's go connect to 57841. Let's go star 3. 57841, hit done. Each command is prefixed with the repeater function node number, star. So I don't need a star, but I would need a 3. So let's go back, reconnect to our node, go to the macros, nothing. Oh, wait, I bet. This is lack of documentation on my part. Let's disconnect all. Aha. So, now that I've defined a macro and I hit this lower right, let's see. Yeah, I'm not connected to anyone. Lower right hand button, hamburger menu, if you will. Now my little connect 57841 showed up at the bottom, and if I hit it, it connected me up to 57841. Look at that business. That's pretty cool. So there's probably a bunch of other things we could do from right there, and that is to reboot our nodes with the other commands or shut them down. I like this. This is a neat little deal. Cool beans. So disconnect all. All those little macros we did in the Allmon 3 menu for reboot, shutdown, asterisk, stop, start, restart, those can be configured right here. I'm sorry. Hamburger menu right here in the macro section. That's pretty cool. So I could do a connect to PSRG. That's the Puget Sound repeater group up in Seattle. I don't need a star, so I can do a 32462. Hit done, go back, connect up to my node, hit the macro button. There it is right there. Hit that, and boom.
Check out our website. There's a ton of information. There's a lot of.
They're right in the middle of a net. They have one 3 times a day. Every day.
I know that there is an event coming up.
I want to say this is Elizabeth. I can't remember everybody's names. There's a lot of different controllers that they have. So if I hit disconnect nodes, disconnect all, it disconnects them off. So macros can be fun, y'all. Okay, very cool stuff. So we learned the macros. We learned the controls here. So what if we could connect to a node that's not on our network? So that's something I wanted to try. So let's go back to the main menu. This 2236 you see here is my home node, and it is set to a local IP address. I don't know if I have a port forwarded for it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I know this all looks a little wonky, but right here is my 2236 node Supermon page. You can see it's connected up to James and my private node for my DMR bridge. And what I've done is this. I went into my home router and I forwarded port 5038 from the outside to port 5038 on the inside. So I'm going to hit plus and we're going to add a new node, 2236, and we're going to get the username here and this password. And it says node IP address, so I'm going to need my home's outside IP address, 47 dot. Okay, put in my home public IP address for port 5038. Yeah, that'd be right. Hit done. Back out of the app. Get back in. There it is. It authenticated, y'all. I am going to be able to control my node from outside my network through node remote. It connected. But the thing is, if I want to put my node back in there to control it locally, I've got to take this entry out to put the other one in, because it won't let you put two of the same node numbers in there at a time. So look up here somewhere, if you can see that. Probably can't. Anyway, I'll put an arrow on the screen. Look on the Supermon page and you're about to see it disconnect, hopefully, from James's node. So we're going to hit disconnect node, disconnect all, and boom, they're gone. I can control my node remotely. Remotely with node remote. Makes it even more remote. So let's connect my home node, which we can't hear from here because I'm in the remote shack right now. It's about 14 blocks away. And we'll hook back up to PSRG. And boom, it's connected, and the red indicates that someone is talking. So let's do a disconnect on that. We'll go back to the main menu, connect to our local node, hit PSRG Seattle.
7IJZ, and this is the PSRG repeater system, and yeah, it's great to hear from all of you.
And this is the Allmon 3 for that. I can switch it to the Supermon.
Check out psrg.org, that's psrg.org.
And you can see the red is indicating that it is transmitting right now. Just one of my Supermon 7.4 customizations.
KK7IJZ73.
Rebecca. That's her name, Rebecca. And when the node detects costs, turns orange. Just neat stuff. I think you can notice here up above where it says unable to fetch astdb.txt. That's the AllStar link database text files. It's whenever it sees a node, it can tell you whose it is. This actually worked for me once, where it displayed in this area here, it displayed the name of the node as it is registered with AllStar link. But for some reason, I can't get it to come back on the phone. If any of you know how to do that, put it down in the comments and let's figure this out together. I have emailed Matt, the creator of this app. He wasn't rude. He just didn't give me a lot of information. I wanted to know how to get that to display here, but I don't think he understood the question correctly, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where we're at. So it is version 1.7 build 1.0, and if you email the developer, it goes to matt@dstarcoms.com. That's matt@dstarcoms.com. Any of you can email him maybe and find out how do we make that work. It'd be nice to know once we are connected. Oops, That's not the one I want. That's the one I wanted. Once we are connected in here to anybody's node, that we could figure out how to see what's up in that the asterisk. It's the node information field for your AllStar link. So there it is. I'll see if I can find an Android phone and we'll take a look at this same app on there as well. So what do you think? Cool stuff, right? I'm going to have a follow-up video coming out pretty quick on the Android version of Node Remote. I was kind of underwhelmed, but it is what it is. I want to say a shout out to Justin, KM4NXU, over there in Tennessee, for inspiring me to do this video. I appreciate it. You rock, brother. Hey, this is Freddie Mac, your ham radio crusader, saying 73s, wishing all the good signals to be yours, and ham on, y'all.